You ever wake up to find your whole world blocked by a shiny, overpriced car parked like it owns your life? That was my morning, staring at a brand new Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, its chrome gleaming like a middle finger right in front of my barn door. And leaning against it, sipping her overpriced latte, was Linda, the HOA dictator who'd made it her mission to turn my farm into her personal punching bag. Hey, I'm Jake, just a guy trying to keep my family's land alive in a little corner of Willow Creek, Tennessee. This farm's been in my blood for 3 generations. My grandpa broke his back building this barn. My dad taught me to drive a tractor before I could ride a bike. It's not just dirt and wood to me, it's home, it's history. But then the suburbs started creeping in, folks with their manicured lawns and rule books thicker than a Bible. And Linda? She was their queen, strutting around with her clipboard like she was God's gift to neighborhood standards. It started small complaints about my rooster waking her up, or my hay bales being too rustic for her cul-de-sac aesthetic. I'd laugh it off, try to keep the peace, even stop blaring Merle Haggard on Sunday mornings. But Linda wasn't about peace, she was about control. She'd show up at my fence line, nose wrinkled like my barn smelled worse than a landfill, saying stuff like, "Jake, this place is dragging down property values. Ever think about selling?" Selling? This land's worth more to me than her entire McMansion. But to her, it was just an eyesore standing in the way of her perfect little suburbia. That morning, though, when I saw her G-Wagon parked smack in front of my barn door, I knew this wasn't just another jab, it was a declaration of war. That barn door's my lifeline. It's how I get my tractor out, how I feed my cattle, how I keep this place running. Without it, my farm's as good as dead. And there was Linda, smirking like she'd already won, her sunglasses perched like a crown. I walked up, boots crunching on gravel, and said, "Linda, move your car, I got work to do." She didn't even look up from her phone, just waved a hand like I was some pesky fly. "Oh, Jake, relax. It's just for a few hours my driveway's being redone, and this thing needs a spot. Your cows can wait, can't they?" I felt my jaw tighten, the kind of anger that burns slow and deep. "Linda, my cows don't wait, and neither does my tractor move it now." She laughed, sharp and mean, like she was enjoying every second of this. "Honestly, Jake, maybe it's time you joined the 21st century, this whole farm vibe. It's not exactly community friendly." That's when I knew this wasn't about parking. It was about her wanting me gone. My land turned into another cookie-cutter subdivision with names like Sunny Acres or some nonsense. I tried reasoning, I really did. I called the sheriff, figuring they'd see this for the sabotage it was. Deputy Carter, a good kid who grew up around here, just sighed over the phone. "Jake, it's private property, HOA stuff unless she's trespassing or causing direct harm. My hands are tied." Linda overheard, grinning like a cat that ate the canary. "Told you, Jake, sheriff's on speed dial. My husband's their biggest donor." I hung up, my knuckles white around the phone. Next, I dragged myself to the HOA meeting that night, stood in their air-conditioned clubhouse, and laid it all out how her car was choking my farm, how I couldn't feed my livestock. Linda cut me off, rolling her eyes. "It's temporary, Jake. Don't be so dramatic. Your animals aren't starving." The board, her little posse of yes-men, just nodded along, one even suggesting I be more accommodating to her community-enhancing guests. I left that meeting with nothing but a headache and the sound of Linda's smug chuckle in my ears. By the next morning, that G-Wagon was still there, shining like a taunt, and my cattle were pacing, hungry, restless. I tried one last time, walked up to her, hands up like a white flag. "Linda, let's end this, move the car. I'll help you find a spot. We're done." She lowered her glasses, her smirk cutting like a knife. "Jake, your farm's the problem. Not my car. It's an eyesore, a liability. Maybe you should sell, move somewhere less civilized." That word, civilized, hit me like a slap. It wasn't just about her car anymore. It was about her spitting on everything my family built, everything I am. And right then, Something snapped, not loud, not wild, but quiet like a match catching flame. I didn't say another word, just turned and headed for the tractor shed. My dad's voice echoed in my head, calm and steady. "Son, when someone blocks your way, you don't beg, you push through." My John Deere was waiting, its green paint chipped but proud, a machine that had hauled hay through blizzards, pulled stumps after storms, carried me through every hard day of my life. I climbed into the cab, the seat worn to fit me just right, and turned the key. The engine roared to life, a low, angry growl that shook the air. Chickens scattered, the oaks seemed to lean in, and even Linda flinched, her smug mask slipping for just a second. I eased the tractor out, slow and deliberate, the ground rumbling under its tires. Neighbors started gathering at the fence, phones out, whispering like they were at a prize fight. Linda strutted forward, hands on hips. "Jake, don't you dare touch my car. That's a $150,000 vehicle. You'll be in court faster than you can say bankruptcy." I didn't answer, just lower the front loader, the hydraulics hissing like a rattlesnake. The bucket gleamed in the sun, heavy and unforgiving. "Move it, Linda," I said, my voice calm but hard as iron. She laughed, nervous now. "You're bluffing, you wouldn't." But her eyes betrayed her, darting to the G-Wagon like it was her kid in danger. I inched forward, the tractor's shadow swallowing her car whole. The crowd held its breath, the air thick with tension, like the moment before a storm breaks. Linda screamed, "Stop, you lunatic!" But I wasn't stopping, not anymore. The bucket made contact with a crunch that echoed like a gunshot. The G-Wagons had folded like tinfoil, chrome snapping off, glass shattering in a glittering spray. The crowd gasped, some cheering, some cursing, phones recording every second. Linda staggered back, clutching her head, screaming, "My car! Do you know what that's worth?" I pushed harder, the tractor climbing the side panel, tires squealing, the frame buckling under the weight. Airbags popped like confetti, leather seats tore, and that fancy alarm wailed like a dying animal. I backed off, then rolled forward again, grinding what was left into a twisted heap. The smell of burnt rubber and oil mixed with the sweet hay from the barn, and it felt right, like justice carved in steel. Neighbors were hollering now, an old guy named Hank whistling like he was at a rodeo. "Give her hell, Jake." Linda fell to her knees, mascara streaking, her voice hoarse. "You're done, Jake. I'll bury you." But her threats were empty, drowned out by the crunch of her precious car. When I finally killed the engine, the silence hit like a wave. The G-Wagon was a wreck, oil pooling in the dirt, rims bent like broken promises. I climbed down, boots hitting the ground with a thud, and looked at Linda. "Should have moved it," when I asked. The crowd erupted laughter, cheers, even a few claps. Linda scrambled up, pointing a shaky finger. "I'll have a sheriff here in 5 minutes." I shrugged. "Good. Tell him how you starved my cattle. All day state law don't take kindly to that." Sure enough, Deputy Carter rolled up, his jaw dropping at the wreckage. "Jake, what the hell happened?" I laid it out the barn, the cattle, her refusal. I pulled out a crumpled paper from my pocket, the state's Agricultural Protection Act, and handed it to him. It says right here, blocking livestock access is a violation, doesn't matter if it's a wheelbarrow or a Mercedes. Carter read it, nodded slow. "He's right. Linda, you're getting a citation for obstruction." Her face went white. "A citation? Me? I'm the victim." But the neighbors weren't buying it. One yelled, "You've been pushing us around for years, Linda." Another chimed in, "Time for a new HOA boss." Her empire was crumbling, and she knew it. That night, as I sat on my porch, sweet tea in hand, the farm felt free. The cattle were fed, the barn door wide open, the stars bright above. The tractor sat in the shed, a streak of silver paint on its bucket like a battle scar. Word spread fast. Folks at the feed store were still laughing about it days later, slapping my back like I'd won a war. The HOA board held an emergency meeting, and Linda? She was voted out, her crown snatched by a room full of neighbors fed up with her nonsense. She stormed off, muttering about lawsuits, but nobody cared she'd lost her grip on Willow Creek. That patch of scarred dirt where her car once sat, I left it there, a reminder that no amount of money or rules can outmuscle grit. I ain't proud of wrecking her car, but I'm damn proud of standing my ground. My dad used to say, Jake, when someone tries to bulldoze your life, you fight with what you've got. For me, it was a tractor. For you, it might be something else, but the fight's the same. Don't let anyone block your barn door. So what about you? Ever had a Linda in your life, someone who pushed too far, thought they could run you over? Drop your story in the comments. Tell me how you'd handle a shiny Mercedes in your way. Would you talk, fight, or roll out your own kind of justice? Hit that subscribe button if you're into stories of real folks standing up to bullies, because trust me, this farm's got plenty more where that came from.